Your first $10,000 is a lion at stealing your future. You're sitting in the break room at work. Across from you, your coworker Ryan, 31. Same role, same salary, is casually talking about his Roth IRA just hitting $47,000. The person next to him nods, saying they're considering buying more of some ETF. The conversation flows as naturally as if they were talking about the weather. And you just hit $10,000 in your savings account last week. It took 16 months. You cut back on eating out. You canceled Netflix. You turned down that Vegas trip with your friends back in March. And for the first time in your life, you look at your account and see a 5-figure number. You thought you did everything right. But sitting there listening to Ryan, you start doing the math in your head. Your $10,000 versus his $47,000. Same age, same company, same salary. So what did he do that you didn't? You smile. You say, "Oh, that's nice." Then you look down at your phone like you're busy. But inside, something tightens. That night, you lie in bed. You can't sleep. You open your phone and type into the search bar, "At 31 with $10,000 in savings, am I on the right track?" You read, then read more. Then you close your phone because the answers make you feel worse instead of better. A flood of questions starts spinning. Should I have started investing at 25? Why did no one teach me the difference between saving and investing? Where should this $10,000 go? Am I wasting time? Will I ever catch up to Ryan? Here's what no one tells you. Your $10,000 is not the problem. The thing destroying your financial future isn't the number in your account. It's the lie you've been taught about what that number means. You were taught that saving $10,000 is success, that having money in a savings account is safety, that if you slowly accumulate, everything will work itself out. That advice isn't wrong, it's just incomplete. And the gap between not wrong and incomplete is quietly eating hundreds of thousands of your future dollars without you even noticing. According to the Vanguard How America Saves Report 2025, someone who starts investing at 25 with $200 a month will end up with more than $340,000 more than someone who starts at 35, even though the total contributions differ by only 2,600 yuan. That gap doesn't come from who earns more. It comes from who puts money in the right place earlier. Your $10,000 is sitting in the wrong place. And every month it sits in the wrong place, you're paying an invisible price no one sends you a bill for. And Ryan, he's not smarter than you. He doesn't earn more than you. He was just shown the 3-bucket system a few years earlier than you. Today, I'm going to do something uncomfortable. I'm going to show you where your $10,000 actually sits in the bigger financial picture based on real data, not comfort. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do with it today, not when things are more stable. Because the harsh truth is that more stable day will never come if you don't change the system right now. The harsh truth is you didn't do anything wrong. You just believed a lie that the entire financial system never bothers to expose. According to the TIAA Institute 2025, 53% of Americans can't correctly answer 3 basic personal finance questions: compound interest, inflation, and diversification. More than half the population walks into the financial battlefield without a map. And their first $10,000, it's just fuel for a consumer machine that's already waiting. Stay until the end of the video. I'll show you the 3-bucket money rule that the truly wealthy use, not the one people post on Instagram. If this is your first time on the Terry the Tortoise channel, welcome. I don't teach you how to get rich fast. I teach you how the tortoise beats the hare. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss videos like this. Now, let's begin. And here's the strangest part. You're not the only one. I've seen this number repeat itself to an almost frightening degree. But that number isn't what keeps me up at night. What keeps me up at night is the real reason behind it, and it has nothing to do with discipline or willpower. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, you need to understand this. The truth about the $10,000 milestone. Let's talk about Marcus. Marcus, 29, works in IT support in Chicago, earning $58,000 a year. It took him 14 months to save his first $10,000. He cut back, stayed disciplined, even used an app to track every dollar he spent. Then, he looked at his account and thought, I've made it. 6 months later, Marcus had $2,200 left. Nothing catastrophic happened, just a phone upgrade, $900. A trip to Nashville with friends, $1,400. A few restaurant meals, because I can afford it now. And a $1,100 car repair, right when his account was at its thinnest. Marcus isn't the exception. Marcus is the pattern. $10,000 is not a destination. It's a psychological trap. Here's what no one tells you. The human brain is not wired to keep money. It's wired to spend money. When you see a $10,000 balance, your brain doesn't think asset. Your brain thinks available resource. And available resources are meant to be used. According to Empower Financial 2025, the median net worth of Americans aged 20 to 29 is only $39,000, and most of that is in physical assets like cars and belongings, not cash or investments. That means the younger generation owns things, not their future. The problem isn't that you lack willpower. The problem is that you're using willpower to fight a system designed to defeat it. The number no one wants to talk about. Let's look at the real numbers. According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, 2024, only 48% of Americans have an investment account outside of employer-sponsored retirement plans. That means more than half the population is completely dependent on their company 401k, and if they lose their job, lose their company, or that program gets cut, they have no backup engine at all. But here's the number that really keeps me up at night. According to Salary Finance Research 2024, 36% of American workers earning over $100,000 still regularly carry credit card balances, month to month up, from 28% in 2021 to 36% in 2024. Six-figure income. Still in credit card debt. Higher income is just funding a more expensive lifestyle. That's not an income problem. That's a system problem. And your first $10,000, if it's not placed into the right system, is just money waiting to disappear. The leaky bucket and the illusion of safety. Most people, when they reach $10,000, do one of three things. First, they leave it in their checking account. The result? Like Marcus, it slowly leaks away to zero. Second, they move it all into a savings account. It feels responsible, but with the national average interest rate at just 0.39%, according to FDIC 2026 on $10,000, you earn $39 a year. Meanwhile, cumulative inflation since 2020 is already 25%. Your money is losing value every day, even though the number on the screen doesn't go down. Third, they use it as a down payment for something big, a car, a house, a business. Then back to zero. Then start over again with a new monthly debt hanging over them. All three approaches are wrong. Not because you're stupid, but because no one ever taught you that $10,000 actually has three different jobs, and if you don't assign them clearly, they will mix together and cancel each other out. If you're still watching this, and you see yourself in Marcus's story, you're on the right track. Hit like right now, so the algorithm pushes this video to people who need to hear it. And stay, because the next part is the most important. So if higher income doesn't solve the problem, and clearly it doesn't, then what does? The answer isn't a saving hack. It's not a budgeting app. It's a structural mistake that 9 out of 10 people are making right now with their own $10,000. And that mistake comes in 3 different forms. I'm going to break down each one. The 3 bucket rule. The only system you need. This is how people who actually build wealth handle their first $10,000. Not complicated. No financial certifications required. Just understand 3 buckets and put the right money into the right bucket. Bucket Hasson, the Freedom Shield, $3,000 to $5,000. This is your emergency fund. But I don't call it an emergency fund because that name makes it sound passive, boring, unnecessary until it's needed. I call it the Freedom Shield because this is what allows you to say no when necessary to a bad boss, to a bad contract, to a financial situation that corners you with no way out. The money in your Freedom Shield must sit in a HISA high-yield savings account. As of 2026, the best accounts at Ally Bank or Marcus by Goldman Sachs are paying 3.8% to 4.2% APY. On $4,000, that's about $160 a year just for your money sitting still and breathing more than 10 times a regular savings account. More importantly, this account must be completely separate from your checking account. Not the same bank, not one click away. You need psychological friction between you and that shield, because when your brain sees easy access to money, it will always find a reason to take it. Look at Sarah. She's 32, works in marketing in Austin. She keeps $4,000 in a separate HISA, not connected to her main banking app. When her car broke down and needed a $2,800 repair, she didn't panic. No credit card, no borrowing from friends. It took 48 hours to transfer the money. She paid for the repair. then restarted the process of refilling the shield. That's the power of $4,000 placed in the right spot. Bucket hash 2. The engine. $5,000 to $6,500. This is money that goes to work. Not money you manage. Money you deploy. The first target. Roth IRA. In 2026, the contribution limit is $7,500 per year. If you're under 50 and in a low to middle tax bracket, a Roth IRA is the most powerful investment account in the US. You contribute after-tax money, but all growth is completely tax-free when you withdraw in retirement. But here's what's shocking. According to IRS Statistics of Income, 2024, only 22% of eligible Americans actually open and contribute to a Roth IRA in the most recent tax year. 78% are wasting one of the most powerful tax-free tools ever created. Not because they don't have the money, but because no one told them it exists or how to use it. Run the numbers. $5,000 invested in a Roth IRA at age 30, placed into an S&P 500 index fund with an average return of 8% per year. By age 60, that grows to about $50,000, and you pay zero tax on the $45,000 gain. In a regular taxable account, you'd lose 15% to 20% of those gains to capital gains tax. A Roth IRA could save you $6,000 to $9,000 from just that initial $5,000 investment. That's not complex technique. That's putting the right money into the right box from the beginning. It's not the number, it's the order that matters. Here's what 9 out of 10 people do backwards. They earn, spend, then save what's left. People who actually build wealth reverse it completely. Earn, automatically transfer into the shield and the engine, immediately then live on what's left. According to AARP Public Policy Institute 2025, workers enrolled in automatic savings programs maintain a 91% contribution rate after 3 years, compared to just 47% for those who manually decide each month. Nearly double. Not because they're smarter or more disciplined, but because the system is working for them instead of against them. When you set up auto transfers on payday before the money even touches your hands, you don't need willpower. The system runs itself, and your willpower is freed up for the decisions that actually matter in your day. You now have the system, the shield, the engine, and the flexible bucket. But here's what I haven't told you, and this is why most people who know this system still fail after 6 months. Not because the system is wrong, but because there is a silent saboteur operating inside your life, waiting for the right moment to tear it all apart. What is it called? I'm about to tell you, and it may be the last thing you expect. The reward yourself trap. I need to talk about Daniel. Daniel, 34, a software engineer in Seattle, just received a $12,000 annual raise, a significant increase. Daniel is smart. He understands saving, understands investing, has watched dozens of finance videos on YouTube, but after 6 months of earning his new salary, Daniel's savings account has only increased by $800, a $12,000 raise. $800 saved. Where did the other $11,200 go? He moved into a bigger apartment, $400, month more. Upgraded his car, $550, month. Ate out more because I can afford it now. Added a few streaming and gym subscriptions. Bought premium kitchen equipment because, with a higher salary, I should cook better meals. This is lifestyle creep, and it is the most silent wealth killer of the 21st century. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 2025, the average American is spending $1,497 per year on subscriptions alone, a 41% increase from 2020. And more alarming, 84% of them underestimate how much they're actually paying monthly. They think it's $80. In reality, it's $147 every month, forever, for things they don't even fully use. Daniel isn't the exception. Daniel is most of us. The solution is not more discipline. The solution is intervention before lifestyle creep has a chance to happen. A simple rule. When you receive a raise, on the very first paycheck at the new salary, increase your auto transfer to investments by 50% of the raise. If your income increases by $1,000 a month, immediately transfer $500 into a Roth IRA or brokerage account before you have time to feel it. You still have $500 to improve your life. But the other $500 is working for you 30 years from now. So now you have the shield. You have the engine. You've blocked lifestyle creep. But there's a scenario I haven't mentioned, one that shows up right when you think you've done everything right. This is the most dangerous scenario, because it doesn't appear as a mistake. It appears as a reward. And if you don't know how to recognize it, it will wipe out your engine within 18 months without you even realizing it. How to never go back to zero again. And this is what truly separates people who build wealth from those who stay stuck on the financial hamster wheel. When Marcus lost his first $10,000, he thought the problem was that he lacked discipline. So the second time, he tried harder, tracked spending more aggressively, forced himself more. The second time, he lost the money faster. Because the problem was never discipline. The problem was the system. And Marcus's system, like the majority of Americans, is no system at all. According to payroll.org, Annual Survey 2025, 77% of American workers say they would face financial difficulty if their paycheck were delayed by just 1 week. Yet among them, 61% have no auto transfers set up to savings. They are living on a tightrope. They know they are living on a tightrope and still haven't installed a safety net. The third bucket in the three-bucket system, the one I haven't mentioned yet, is the flexible bucket. This is what remains after the shield and the engine are fully funded. This is money you are allowed to spend. No guilt, not breaking the plan. This is your money. You earned it. And you can use it freely because the important things are already protected. The psychological difference is massive. When you know your shield is intact and your engine is running, you buy that $7 coffee without financial anxiety whispering behind your neck. That is the true definition of stealth wealth. Not deprivation, but building such a strong foundation that you can spend the rest with calm confidence. The system is now complete. But before I show you the real math, the exact numbers, the exact cash flow for a 8-year-old earning $55,000, I need to warn you about one final trap. This is the trap that even people who did everything right still fall into. It has a name in Morningstar research, and it quietly drains an average of $170,000 from each American investor over 20 years, not because they pick the wrong stocks, but because of a completely natural human reflex. Run the numbers one last time. Assume you're 28 years old, earning $55,000 a year. You have your first $10,000 in hand. The old way, no system. $10,000 in checking. 18 months later, $1,200 left. Start over. Repeat forever. The three-bucket way. $4,000 into a separate HISA. The Freedom Shield, $5,500 into a Roth IRA invested in a VTI index fund. The engine, $500, kept in checking as a buffer. Then set up monthly auto transfers, $150 into HISA until you reach 6 months of expenses, and $300 into Roth IRA. According to the Vanguard How America Saves Report 2025, someone who starts investing in index funds at $25 with $200 a month will end up with more than $340,000 more than someone who starts at $35, even though total contributions differ by only $24,000. That's the power of time. And you're 28. This window is still open. But here's the real trap, and why this final number matters most. According to the Morningstar Investor Returns Study 2025, due to buy high, sell low behavior, the average American investor earns 1.7% less per year than the very funds they invest in. That gap compounds into over $170,000 lost on a $200,000 portfolio over 20 years. Not because they picked the wrong fund, but because they panic when the market drops and sell at the worst possible time. The three-bucket system solves this by completely separating the money you need now, the shield, from the money you invest long-term, the engine. When the market drops 30%, you don't need to touch the engine because the shield is protecting you. You can sit still, even buy more, while others are panic selling. You've seen the numbers. You've seen the system, and I know what you're thinking right now. Okay, but where do I start? Today? Right now? With exactly how much? That's the right question. And the answer is not a number. It's a single action that can be done in 60 seconds. I'm going to tell you right now, in this final section. Don't close the video. Most people watching this will do nothing. They'll nod. They'll think, yeah, that's good. They might even share this video with friends. And next week, their first $10,000 is still sitting in a checking account, slowly evaporating into things they can't even remember. But if you're one of the few who actually take action, if today you open a separate HISA, If today you sign up for a Roth IRA and set auto transfers, if today you divide your $10,000 into the 3 buckets correctly, your entire financial trajectory just changed. Not gradually, not slowly. It changed right now, at this exact decision. Because $10,000 is not just a number, it's proof that you can be disciplined, that you can resist temptation, that you can build something real. The only question is, will you let that proof disappear again, or will you turn it into a foundation that your future self, 30 years from now, will look back on and thank you for choosing on this exact afternoon? The choice is in your hands, and you are making it right now, whether you realize it or not. The one step you need to take in the next 60 seconds, take out your phone. Search Ali Bank Heisa or Marcus by Goldman Sachs Heisa. Open an account, transfer any amount into it, even just $50. Habit matters more than the number. System matters more than willpower. And starting today matters more than starting perfectly tomorrow. If this video changed how you see your first $10,000, leave a comment below with just one word: bucket. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay steady. The tortoise is still moving.